Immigration Law Advice, your licensed immigration advisor. We bring to you the information in ABS format, accurate, brief, and simple. Continuing our tradition and the series we are working on to bring the successful migrants in front of you, and they share their stories and give you some tips about how you can make a career in that particular area in New Zealand, and also talk about the implications of COVID-19 on in general in their industry and what are the opportunities. And today is a very important day. We're going to talk about the occupation and meet the person who is really, really important in current scenario. And I think this occupation has been underrated for many years, but the importance of the occupation has come into picture, or I say in limelight, in last few months after COVID-19. Yes, I'm talking about the community worker, community support worker, or people working in the aged care sector. So we are lucky to have Himani Mishra with us. She's originally from India, now New Zealand citizen. So without further ado, let me welcome Himani. Hi Himani, how are you?
I'm good, Vinay. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. First of all, thanks for your uh, for taking the time out to talk to us. I know it's a very busy time of the year, or in general, you anyways very busy, but at this time of the
Yes,
moment,
indeed.
it's really a busy time for in your area. So thank you so much, first of all, for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I always believe that if your journey could help any other to motivate to come into this field, it's really good because we really do need good people with real good people skill.
Superb. Excellent. Thank you so much, Himani, for that. Let's start with the asking you a very simple question. If you would like to share your journey to New Zealand, if you would like to, share how you arrived to New Zealand, how to the point now you're a successful citizen of New Zealand. If you would like to give some of, experience, please.
Oh yes, my journey is full of ups and downs as anyone else. It's not a just you get out of a plane and you have got job ready for you. You do have your struggle, but ultimately in the end it pays off. I always say that keep trying and it will always come to you. So it has happened with me. Yes, there were some days when you feel a bit down and you want to give up, but those are the days which you should be more strong enough to keep pursuing your dreams because you will do it anywhere, anyways, whether you here or in India. It's just, and I should say that I came here just to pursue my dream. I was doing quite well back in India. I was a successful teacher, administrator, vice principal, and an educational consultant. So if you'll ask me career wise, I was quite well settled, but wanted, I never felt content there. I was having everything in my life, but I didn't have that happiness, that job satisfaction, um, which which become one of the reason that I decided to come New Zealand along with my 8-year-old son that time. And it was quite a bit of a journey when I came here because I have got a teaching background, I've got a teaching degree, and I've got a teaching skills and experience from home, as well as some consultancy. So, which gives you a people skill because you talk and you give advice. But when I came here, because due to some personal circumstances, I wasn't not in a position to get my qualification assessed. I came here on a work visa, so to keep support my child and myself, I started working in McDonald's. And I wasn't just only working in McDonald's, I was working during doing night shifts, which was a whole lot of a different from what I was doing back home. But I took it in my stride. I have got one intention that I'm chasing my dream, and it's a rough phase. It's a dark night this time, and I have to do it. I have to look after my son. So I keep chasing that. I keep pursuing that for a year and a half before after that I find a job as an administrator in one of the dairies where some of the accounting skills are required, which still wasn't my field. But then I kept pursuing. I started working as a after school care worker, which opened doors for me to go in early childhood sectors. I worked in early childhood sector for 3 years. I enjoyed there a lot, and I definitely had skills which needed to do that. After, in the meantime, I did my qualification assessed. It came as a secondary qualified, which I was definitely. So I did relieving and some full term teaching in like in secondary schools, and it was an eye opening for me that time while working in school that there every system is different, and New Zealand system is different, and the children comes with a lot of need. Even I think even in India there are more, they have got more mental needs to attend than to their intellectual or their academic needs, because uh, I find that studies nowadays is not a big job, because everything is available on net, everything is available on one fingertip. You type www and whatever you want to know, and it's all in front of you. But who is attending these needs of these young people? And that's open, and I felt, and I sort of a struggle that how we could teach them until and unless we'll break that barrier, because that was a barrier which is coming between their achievement. So it opened the doors, and I become interested in talking to them, finding out. And there I find that I have got this passion for counseling. I could do that. I'm a natural person, because a person who won't tell anything to any other teacher or any person could happily share with his or her thoughts with me. So I thought I should use it as a community support, because when I came here and I needed a support, community supported me a lot. So, and we live in New Zealand where this is a big thing. You support each other. That's how you grow. If you just stick to yourself, there are no chances. That's one of the skill you need to have. So thought, why should I not use it? So I went to do my job, which I'm doing presently, is a community support worker. Basically, it is you visit their homes, talk to them about their, and connect with different agencies which could support them. And you talk about their children, what they are lacking in parenting style, what's what as a parent they can't see but we could see, because sometimes as a parent their barrier comes in between, but what you could see those disadvantages which could be turned into advantages if you'll tell them in a positive way, and if you'll work through with them, alongside with them, just not for them. That's a difference. We don't work for them, we work with them, alongside them, and that's a big difference. If you'll think it in a big way, you will realize that how important it is. We walk the talk, we go and walk, and we become one of them, we become their family members. Sometimes they just wait for us to break their good news. That's our achievement, that we become, because usually in life you need that neutral person who doesn't comes with any judgment, and we go without a judgment. We don't form judgment.
And can I just say that, Himani, like in your case, if I, because see, of course, uh,
Yeah,
our channel is watched by, number of viewers from overseas, of course, in New Zealand, many of
yeah,
them, most of them are overseas.
yeah,
So, as a perception wise, when we talk about the community support, uh, job is more about, many a times student might think that, okay, if I come to New Zealand, this is something maybe I can do it while I'm looking for something else. But in all reality, like someone like yourself is the right person to, one thing is you do by chance, or other thing is you want to do it by your choice. And
yeah,
what I could get from your story is it is not by chance, but for you it is by choice, like how you
yes, yeah,
started, of
yeah,
course. Just like any migrant who comes to the country, whatever job you get, you got it in McD, and then you moved on
yeah,
to your teaching career, which you were doing back home anyways.
yeah, yeah,
But then you realize over a period of time, probably this is what you want to do, and
yes,
you
yeah,
did this by choice. So probably you're the right person to give a insight about this industry, rather than someone who just is doing it because they didn't find anything else, because there are a number of opportunities in this area, isn't it? So my next question to you is, if you can give a bit of an insight about this industry per se. I understand, like, we got to know your job profile when you deal with kids and, going to family. What kind of jobs are there in this particular industry? And apart from, just, we don't want to, rather than, like I said, stereotypical, when some student feel like this is the job only where you do once you're waiting to get your dream job. But
Hmm.
within this industry, what are the options available for people who want to make a successful career?
That's a very good question, Vinay. There are heaps of, that's what I do is just a 0.5% of that. There are a lot of other jobs which is related with the same sort of a mindset, with the same sort of skills which you need. There are jobs related with youth. There are some youth workers. There are some elderly workers, those who go to their home and they work with them. And then there is elderly aged care, what we call, that you go and you look after them and you help them and you support them in their day-to-day living. And and there are then care workers for children as well. Then there are home groups for children, those who comes under state care. And so there are a lot many ways. Then there are jobs which where you could work as a resource person, where you make resources for all these people and you compile all those resources for them.
So, sorry, when you say resources, what can you give?
Like, for example, what sort of a things they would like to read, what sort of activities you could plan. Like, some people like doing that. There are various skills you have they are lying inside you which you never thought of, but when you start thinking about them, you find that, oh, that's there. I could do that very nicely. So that's a skill. So basically it's your set of skills which you are coming here with. It's not more about your theoretical knowledge. Yes, it does come, you have to apply theory into practice, but that's only 20% of it. What I'm saying here is that you have got so many hidden skills, like, how you talk to a person, how you feel empathy, which nobody could teach you empathy. It is within you. How you have got that empathy, you have got an empathy towards youth, towards old age people, towards children, towards a child, or towards couples. There are so many couples who just struggle with their life, and they just need one right person to sit in between and say, hey, look, it is like this, it's working or not now, okay. So then that sort of a job also comes to us, that we go inside and work.
So just for for the benefit of the viewers, to make it more
Yeah.
in layman term, is like, of
Yeah.
course, this the roles which are included in this industry are, you're dealing with the children, you're dealing with the age care, I mean the older people,
Youth.
senior
Yes.
citizen, and you're dealing with the youth. So you're actually dealing with the all ages. And
All
it's
ages.
like you probably working in a different organization who deals with, either they will dealing with children or the
Yeah.
youth, or they're dealing
Yes.
with the senior people. So
Yes.
isn't it, so it covers all, but all in all
It covers all particular, and it covers jobs like in Ministry of Social Development, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and many NGOs are there, because the government funds, and then these funds go to the NGO, those who are responsible running, and in return they report back to government. So they act as mediators from government. So either you could work directly for government or through one of these NGOs. So there are still ways, and they all are interlinked. So it is a good way to make your way here, to
and I
know the system.
and I believe there are a number of private organization also who deals with the.
Yeah, they all are NGOs. They all are funded by government. Yes, they all are. They has to be funded because they have to report government, and that's what I say. That's the biggest chance and opportunity for you to know the system, how the country operates, how the system in a country works, what what's what's the thought process like. So it gives you indirect insight into the understanding of the cultural and the values of the country, which goes long way when you become used to it. So you become more acceptable there, because you become one of them, you sharing those values.
And Himani, just to get an idea about, of course, again, for the benefit of the viewers, is if someone has a background in the counseling or the background in the health area, be it, in uh, uh, the physiotherapy or in
Mhm.
general, does that help in this industry in any ways?
Yeah, that's it's always like a cherry on the cake. But if you have got any sort of a good degree here, because you should have a theory, knowledge of some theories. If you know basic theories, that how human being works, like how the brain works, what sort of a tensions. And I think your own values, your own observations in life, your own struggles in life also helps. So it's not, you are getting valued for what you have got, and then what you are getting. So this is one of the job, it's give and take. You are learning, at the same time you are giving what knowledge you have got, what expertise you have got.
And I believe, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's like, of course, as far as the empathy is concerned, helping
Yeah.
community is concerned, it doesn't come from the qualification.
No,
But,
no,
but
it's, yeah.
however, if you are from a background in health science or from counseling, probably if we see from a maybe a migrant perspective, it does give you an edge when you're
Yeah,
looking for a job. And and when we look in, of course, being a licensed advisor, we look at how the things will move on from a job to.
true, true.
So probably, if you look at from that perspective, maybe if you're from the health science or the counseling area, probably that might be a helping side from that angle, isn't it? Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, counseling is the thing at the moment, because we all going through, especially through whatever we have gone through in the COVID-19 lockdowns. We have got whole set of the full generation coming out, those who are struggling to deal with, and they all need support, definitely, with through their mental health and mental support. And that's where the counselors come in. So if you have got a qualification in counseling or any other health sciences which you could help with, that's always a big tick.
Yeah. Now, you talked about COVID-19, of course, the current
Yeah.
hot topic. Uh, just would like to know from you, with COVID-19 impact, and of course, New Zealand is doing really well.
Yep.
And hopefully, other countries will do the same in very near future. So, what do you think from a implications on the job market in this particular industry with COVID-19, positive or negative, either way? What do you think?
I think there would be a balance of positive. Yes, there would be negative. There would be industries which were flourishing earlier, which has always happened. If you'll see down the line, it's always happened in history that one industry is hot potato one time and then it becomes real cold for any reason. And this time, the reason is COVID-19. That, like, there would be some changes in the lifestyle of people, there would be changes in what they are asking for. So I hope there would be some negatives for some job opportunities. But in this line, like when I'm taking this line, the line I'm working in, which is to deal with people, to help the community, help community support, counseling, the health profession, they are definitely on the higher graph, because people would be needing more support. It's, I would say, COVID-19 is, or was, because we could say was, living in New Zealand, is like a war. So we had done that, we have fought that war. Now what we are waiting is the implications of that, because war always comes with economic, physical, spiritual, and mental implications. So if you tick any of the boxes in that, definitely you're ahead. And if you are a tick with mental implications, that's where you could find your place in New Zealand.
And I believe, Himani, from that angle is, of course, there is a negative and positive. Uh, uh, Probably blessing in disguise or whatever for this particular industry. Like we started this interview, when I say it's kind of a always been an underrated job,
Yes,
in,
yeah,
in in the in any country, I would say, right? But
yeah.
in recent time, it has, people have realized how important it is, be it you're working in a hospital area, you're working in the community. So So of course the government will be investing more and more in this area
Definitely.
time to come. So probably from that angle, the people who want to make a career in this industry is a positive future ahead, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely right time. Because if you had seen yesterday's government, like, what they are funding for apprenticeship, the community work is one of it. So definitely we need a lot of them. So we would be training people from here. And if we get some for that time from outside, the migrants definitely do need stand a chance in there. Well, and their expertise, if they could bring it in here. This country definitely needs at this time.
The last but very important question, the number of viewers who are sitting offshore
Yeah.
watching this video, and they are inspired to get into this industry, they want to do something for the community, and they like helping people. So what would be your message to them in general, if how they should take it? And of course it's a time where from people coming from offshore, they are still wait and watch game. It might be sometime
Yeah.
end of this year or
Hmm.
early next year, when people can come, be it for their further studies to make a career, or they want to join their families here. So what would be your message for aspirants who are looking to get into this industry as a migrant? And you are the probably the best person to answer that, because you've been there, done that, and you're doing this because of the choice, not by chance.
Yes. I the first thing which I say that make your choice your chance, and make your chance your choice. That's the first thing, because that will keep you going, because you need that to build your motivation. And the second thing which I will always I always say to everyone, don't give it up. Don't give it up. The one thing or the other thing in life should not shake you to or not to dream. Sometimes we wake up but we start dreaming again. So the COVID-19 should be taken as a, like, untimely wake up for you guys, those who are aspiring to come here, but then sleep again and dream of coming here again. You will be you will be welcomed by a greenless pastures, and we would be there to support you.
Thank you so much, Himani. It was a really excellent closing statement. Uh, I believe, if we conclude this on the line when what Himani said, make your chance
Your
your
choice.
choice, and your choice your chance. And that's a good way of looking at it, because as a migrant, when you come to the country,
Yeah.
in all honesty, you probably cannot choose
Yeah.
in early stages. So if you look at, Himani's life, coming working as a in an odd job, then getting into something where she worked back home, and then slowly but surely realized what she really wanted to do in her life. So that's a really and inspiring and story to listen and learn from it. And I'm sure the people who are watching this will learn a lot from here. And if you want to make a career in this community support worker in this industry, there are a number of opportunities. And like we discussed, of
Yes.
course, the one parameter is, of course, you should be able to help others, you are empathetic. But as a migrant, if you have a qualification in the health industry or in counseling, that always help. That's like a
Absolutely.
cherry on the top. So I hope this video will help you to learn more about this industry. And if you have any further question, you can always write to us on a email shown on the screen, and we are able to help you. And thank you so much, Imani, once again for your time.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Yep. If
Thank you
I
so
could help you.
much. Bye bye.
Thank you.